That it's really a question of the longevity of a government.
What is it?
Or the style of government. I think it is what the people want. Yes, if you have a government that delivers, that people are happy with, and if people want to keep that government there for a long period of time, why not? Why not? But at the end of the day, I think it's the choice of the people who elect the governments, and the ability of governments to deliver to people what they require.
Agriculture. If you had the opportunity to take agriculture elsewhere, what would be the first thing that you would do?
First of all, David, I'm not sure how well I would do if I had an opportunity to
But what
take agriculture.
policy-wise, what would you suggest?
I would start first and foremost with something that is non-agricultural. I would start with the broad macroeconomy. I would start with interest rates, which plays back into the question of government spending as against government revenues and the fundamental role of government. Because unless you can provide long-term, low interest rates in a low inflationary environment, you cannot provide resources to agriculture that can make agriculture grow.
And you think we can?
We can. Ultimately, agriculture is a sector that is extremely sensitive to the cost of money. It requires long-term money, stable financing on very attractive terms. Even in countries like the United States, you still have significant subsidies and programs that go to the agricultural sector to sustain it. So if you don't have a macroeconomic environment that allows you to extend long-term financing to this sector so that this sector can equip and grow, you cannot galvanize agriculture.
I get the impression that ultimately the only thing that this country needs is good people, and good people who are honest and committed to changing things.
And people who are creative, if I may add, who are open to new ideas and fresh thinking, who seek new initiatives, and who are disciplined.
Are these young people?
Variety of people. It can be young.
But young people are much more capable of open-mindedness, are they not?
If they are exposed to the right sorts of ideas.
I hear that a lot, exposure. What do you mean? That they must travel? That they must watch different TV? Where do people get exposure when they live in this country? People talk about exposure. Because it seems to me, therefore, that the only people that must do it are people that have lived abroad and are exposed and come back and do it.
I don't think so, David. When I look at my own personal life,
yes,
I felt that I had a good degree of exposure at a very young age that helped me decide what I wanted to do.
How? What kind of exposure?
People I spoke to, programs that people put together when we were in school. You had even something as simple as a speech and prize giving day. The kinds of individuals that were chosen, the kind of opportunities we had to find out the backgrounds of these people and their careers. I think the media, obviously, in this modern age, is very, very important. The kinds of information that we provide on the radio stations or on television, access to literature. We have tremendous opportunities for exposure. You have information technology, you have the internet.
But every single one of these things depends on people. I mean, you say programming, for example, you still have programs being developed by people. So you need a certain kind of person to, you know, it's almost like the course of the chicken and the egg thing. You need a certain kind of person to put out a good program that will expose people to great things.
Absolutely, but not many.
You need a few people.
You need a few people to set the direction, to open the path, and the ideas will flow.
But that's strange, you know, because a lot of these good people often get swamped and totally, I mean, they lose focus and interest just by the sheer volume of less enlightened, if I might use the expression, people around them. That's why I'm not sure whether your critical mass concept of small numbers really can take us anywhere.
Well, we all lose focus. We all lose focus in whatever we do. But good leaders always have focus. Good leaders always have focus. And it's a question of always having your priorities and coming back to them time and time and time again.
Has Africa thrown up any good leaders?
Yes.
Has Southeast Asia done the same? Has it thrown up more good leaders than Africa?
Absolutely.
More good leaders than Africa?
More good leaders, I think, than Africa.
When you say more, what about them is more? What is the distinguishing factor between a leader in those parts and an African leader? And I speak broadly, I'm not referring to any specific
economic transformation. They have been able to transform the living standards of their people. They have been able to achieve economic growth and fulfill certain economic visions.
And you say because they have had a vision.
Because they've had a vision, because they have chosen the right people, because they've had the discipline. Essentially why.
Do they not have a large number of educated people?